What's going on, guys? It's your brother Ziad back with another video. For those who are new, welcome, bro. I help Muslim men level up physically and mentally, and today I'll be going through 5 reasons why you are struggling with consistency. With that being said, let's get straight into it. Number 1, you are a perfectionist. Brothers, one of the worst things about being a perfectionist is that you genuinely believe that every single time you show up, every single time you execute, for some reason it has to be perfectly flawless. What ends up happening is that you forget about the fact that you just showing up and doing what you got to do, even if it has a lot of flaws, then over the long run, those things will add up and you will start to see results by Allah's permission. And with the whole perfectionist mindset, because you want every single thing to be absolutely flawless, you end up not taking action, or on days when you don't feel the best, you don't do what you gotta do. And yes, that messes up your consistency. That's number 1. And for number 2, we have you lack clarity. This one is actually very crucial, because if you really think about it, being consistent in itself is already something that, let's be honest, a lot of people struggle with, and it's not very easy. Now imagine just how much harder it becomes to be consistent if you don't even have clarity on what you're working towards. This is one of the biggest reasons why you need to have clear-cut goals, so you know that all the effort that you're putting in, all the time that you're being consistent, has an actual payoff by Allah's permission. If you don't have clarity, it is so much more easier to just slack off and just drift left and right and not actually get anything done. Now, if you genuinely don't have any idea or exact clear-cut clarity on what it is that you want, then the least you can do is at least have a general idea, a general direction, so you can be directionally correct. I'm telling you right now, it is better to have a general idea than to have no idea at all. And it is better to have a clear vision than to have a general idea. Whatever the case may be, have goals, have clarity. Consistency will become easier by Allah's permission. That's number 2. And number 3, this one is actually very important, and that is that you lack a blueprint. Fellas, I'll be honest, number 2 and number 3 they go hand in hand. Alright, you can have the most clear goals, the craziest clarity, whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, if you don't even have blueprint, or should I say more specifically, if you don't know what inputs you gotta put in to get to that goal, then there's nothing much of a difference between you and so many other people who also have goals. Because don't forget, a lot of people also want the same things as you, but what makes you different from other people is having a blueprint. What you have to do is, yes, have that goal, have that clarity, whatever the case may be, and follow that up with daily actions that you must be taking every single day in order to get to that goal by Allah's permission. So let's say your goal is to have a much better physique. Right now you have to write down what are the daily tasks that need to get done that are absolutely non-negotiable. Getting your macros in, getting your sleep in, getting your training in, that's your blueprint. Those are your inputs that you need to get done on a regular basis. Also, what's really cool about having inputs is that even if you don't have specific goals or like crazy clarity, you're gonna get those goals even if you don't want it. They just come as a byproduct. Think about it. Every single time you start your car, you don't think to yourself that you want some smoke to come back out of the exhaust pipe. Rather, you just focus on starting the car, and as a side effect, the smoke comes out. That's that. And for number 4, you turn your losses into streaks. Guys, please understand that if you're thinking really long term, I'm talking about 10, 15, 20 years down the line, then there's a very high probability that there are some days when you're not gonna show up simply because out of laziness or because you were busy or whatever. But one of the worst things you can do is to turn that one missed day into 2, and then to a 3rd day, then to a week, a month, and then next thing you know, it's been a year and you haven't worked out or you haven't read a book or whatever. This is exactly why you have to do your utmost best to make sure that missing one day does not turn into a streak. For me, as an example, let's say on Monday, I'm supposed to be recording a long format YouTube video and I will do my utmost best that on Tuesday, I just don't slack off again. Alright, for number 5, you have a lot of distractions. Brothers, please understand that if you want consistency to become much easier, please make sure that there's not a lot of distractions around your environment. Let's say you want to lose some fat, don't have a cheesecake in your fridge. In fact, don't even have junk food in your house in the first place. Let's say you finally want to lock in on doing that assignment, don't bring your phone with you in the room. And if you are going to need your phone while doing the task, then at least don't have social media apps on your phone. I really cannot stress enough, but a lot of people make it hard on themselves to be consistent simply because they are putting so many distractions around them. Therefore, brother, please make consistency more effortless by simply cutting out all distractions. Lastly, fellas, for number 6, this is something you need to ingrain deeply in the back of your mind. And that is that you have to embrace boredom. Guys, I really want you to think about this for a moment, right? On a much deeper level. Consistency is basically doing something on a repetitive basis regardless of what you feel like. I don't know about you, bro, but to me that sounds pretty boring, which is exactly why if you want to be more consistent, then just tell yourself that this is supposed to be boring and you have to embrace it. Once you master the skill of embracing boredom, then consistency becomes much easier. With that being said, brothers, that's pretty much it for this entire video. Please understand that these tips are very, very valuable. Therefore, rewatch it, take notes, and of course, apply. And if you want to level up your physique and your mindset and you want to work with me one-on-one, then I'll put a link right below this video where you can book a call for my one-on-one online coaching. And if you want to hop on a call simply because you want more info regarding my coaching and how it works and whatever, you can still book a call also. With that being said, as always, take care of yourself.